A vengeful sister Kudzai plots her payback against her elder sister Kunda and her lover Tabo, whom she failed to acquire even after giving him a love potion. This is Beneath the Baobab, Part 2. Kudzai's first victim was Captain Tabo. She plotted with land grabbers to trap Captain Tabo by bribing him with money so that he looks the other way as they steal people's land. She wanted to use this against him and have him imprisoned, or else have him stripped of his rank. But this plan also failed when Captain Tabo instead arrested all the land grabbers and charged them with not only land grabbing but bribery of an officer as well. She didn't stop here though. She hired some village goons to attack Kunda and take advantage of her, making her impure in front of their parents. Surely they would be so disappointed in Kunda that they would throw her out of the house as they did with her. So that night they attacked her on her way back home. But little did they know that Captain Tabo was with Kunda and had decided to escort her back home that day. So when they sprang out of the bush, they were met with the fury of Captain Tabo, who beat them to a pulp. Noticing that they were fighting a police officer, they became scared and ran away, except for one that Captain Tabo grabbed and cuffed. This goon was taken to the police station to face his crimes and also reveal the mastermind behind this attack. This did not scare Kudzai, as this was just the beginning for her. She needed to get rid of Captain Tabo before he exposed her. So she sent a report to the district headquarters accusing Captain Tabo of corruption. In the report, she falsified evidence showing that Captain Tabo was working with land grabbers in Mutamu and was indeed on their payroll. She also went to the police station to acquire testimonies from the land grabbers, promising them that they would get out if they turned the tables against Captain Tabo. The villagers, unaware of Kudzai's evil deeds, watched in horror as Captain Tabo's life spiraled into complete chaos. He had now been stripped of his powers as an officer amid the investigation into his corruption case. He therefore had to leave his post and Mutamu altogether until he was cleared of all his charges. Kudzai reveled in the chaos she had created. She had won, or maybe not. See, even though Kunda was a soft-hearted person, this didn't blind her from noticing her sister's evil deeds. She had noticed Kudzai taking strange calls in the middle of the night and going out after. She became suspicious and decided to follow her. She saw Kudzai talking to a strange-looking man. Upon further inspection, she could tell that this was one of the land grabbers. Was Kudzai behind all this? She asked herself, but she had no evidence to prove it. But most importantly, she needed to be with the love of her life. She needed to stop him from going out of the village, and she was afraid that she would not see him ever again. In a heartbeat, she decided that she would follow him to wherever he goes. And so Kunda and Captain Tabo decided to leave Mutamu together, to go to a faraway place where they could live happily without anyone disturbing them. Kudzai was furious at how they could dare try to undermine all her efforts. Not after all she has done. How could they? Just when the fun starts? On their way out of Mutamu, Captain Tabo and Kunda were ambushed by unknown gunmen. Captain Tabo quickly hid Kunda in the bush and asked her not to come out or make a sound no matter what happened to him. He didn't want her to get hurt while trying to save him or try to fight the goons on her own. He confronted the goons and tried to fight them on his own, but there were too many and outnumbered him. They beat him badly and then threw him off the cliff. Kunda came out shouting and wailing, but they also grabbed her and threw her off the cliff too. Now her revenge was complete. Kudzai had gotten rid of everyone that had made her life miserable, that had humiliated her. They were now gone and she could now sleep in peace. But the following morning, the police charged into her house and arrested her for attempted murder. She was now in a police cell, confused. She started pleading with the officers to tell her what exactly was going on. How could she be charged with murder? She had not killed anyone. Hours and hours went by, but Kudzai was not being given any answers. She was now becoming impatient and was shouting at every officer that passed by. But there was this one officer who didn't look her way. He quietly sat on his desk with his back facing her. He didn't budge even when she shouted at him. This time she shouted so loud that he turned back and faced her. His face gave her the shock of her life. It was Captain Thabo in the flesh. At this point, Kudzai was too shocked to even utter a single word. He walked towards her and said, "Shocked, aren't you now? Well, let me tell you a little story." He went on to remind her of the day she went to meet the head of the land grabbers. Kunda had followed her and had taken pictures of them together. She brought the pictures to me, but that wasn't enough evidence to get you arrested. So we came up with this little plan. We? What do you mean we? We, said Kunda as she walked towards her. As Kunda continued to narrate, the secret meeting between Kudzai and the land grabber was the first lead that they had in their attempt to try and prove Captain Thabo innocent of all the corruption charges. But that wasn't enough evidence to tie Kudzai to all the incidents that have been happening in Mutamu. But her reckless murder attempt sealed the deal. She had now been arrested and was facing jail term of up to life imprisonment. Kudzai knelt down and pleaded for forgiveness from Kunda. But this time, Kunda had had enough. She couldn't let this slide. Kudzai needed to pay for all her crimes. And soon Kudzai was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Seems she will live out the rest of her life paying for the crimes that she committed. Captain Thabo and Kunda's relationship continued to flourish. He soon proposed and they got married. They are now living happily with their 3 children as a family. Their love, tested by deceit, jealousy, anger, betrayal, and danger, remained unbreakable and continued to flourish, just like the baobab tree under which they met. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Murabeho!